Hey everyone, we're going to be doing a second deck profile for Cyberse. So of course I mentioned to you in the first deck profile that I was going to make 3 deck profiles for Cyberse, and this is the second one. So let's just get started. There's a few differences between this one and the first one. So if you haven't seen the first deck profile, do check it out. It's not an improvement on either one. So this deck is not an improvement on the first Cyberse deck, and the first Cyberse deck is not an improvement on the second one. It's just two different styles. So the first Cyberse deck profile is more control based, whereas this one I'm about to show you right now is a more aggressive style and it takes more risks. So do check out the first one if you still haven't. I'll leave a link in the description box below. But right now let's just go with this. So to begin with monsters, we're going to go with 3 Balancer Lord. I still think it's a great card. I think all Cyberse decks should play 3 of those. Still playing 3 Draconet. Some people are actually playing 2 or 1 because they don't like the consistency of the deck with this. I still think it's a great card. It's a link 2 right away. Like, you summon it, bring out a normal monster. So I don't know why people are decreasing the amount. You should always play 3. We are playing 3 Digitron, and we are also playing 2 Bitrons. So the difference is that I dropped the amount of Bitrons we're playing. Instead of playing 3, we're playing 2 now. It's just, I didn't really have that much space, so I wanted to cut a few things off, and I felt like cutting off the 3rd Bitron was okay. I didn't mind cutting it off. It didn't really hinder the deck too much, and I feel like this is the best way to play it. You could switch around the ratios between Digitron and Bitron, but it's just to cut out space. Of course, we're playing 3 Backup Secretary, and for the new edition, we are playing 2 Ram Clouder. So I took out Rom Cloudier because Rom Cloudier was more fixated towards the first deck profile, which is more of a control build, and as a result, we're playing more passive, we're playing more slow in that. But in the case of Ram Clouder, this deck is more aggressive, of course, so we're playing that because it can instantly tribute any monster, including itself, to target any Cyberse monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So Ram Clouder is overall a faster card, and you can activate it immediately as long as you have a Cyberse monster in your graveyard. Then we are also playing 2 Boot Staggered. I think Boot Staggered is still a great card to play at 2. Summon any Cyberse monster, he special summons himself. Very aggressive card, and he already is a 2300 beat stick, so that's really awesome. Increase the amount of Dotscapers. Now we're playing 2, and I think I'll get back to that later. There's a specific card that is played that makes you want to play 2 Dotscapers in this deck. Alright, so next we have 1 Stack Reviver. I still think 1's enough, we don't need any more. Playing 1 Client. The reason why I'm playing the Client is because it boosts all your other Cyberse monsters by 500 attack and defense. And if it would be destroyed, you can destroy a Cyberse monster from your hand or face up on your field instead. Which, again, this has good synergy with Dotscaper. It will just come back, so not too bad of a card. We're also playing 1 Backlinker as well. Backlinker is obviously a great card if you're going second, because if your opponent has a monster in the extra monster zone, then it special summons itself. It's a great card. We're still playing the 1 Gofu because obviously Gofu is recommended either way. And yep, so there's one reason why it took me so long to get this deck profile up and running, and that's because I was trying to look for Link Infraflyer. Unfortunately, I still don't have it, so we're just going to be using these 2 proxies for now, but Link Infraflyer is still a great card, and I do recommend you play 2 just like the first deck profile. A new addition to this deck, we are playing 1 Dandelion. Again, I'll get to Dandelion a little later, but let's quickly move on to spells while we're at it. So we're playing 3 Signet Backdoor. I don't have to mention this again. I did a structure deck opening and review on the card itself, and I also mentioned what it does in the first deck profile. We are still playing 2 Painful Decision because we are playing a lot of normal monsters. We're playing 2 Bitron and 3 Digitron, and I still think Painful Decision is still a great card to play. And of course, we are playing 2 Unexpected Die. If you guys noticed in the monsters, I took out 2 Lynx layers, which was in my original one. I decided to play it this way simply because Unexpected Die, Lynx layers, and Gofu all kind of contradicted each other, as if one was played, the other ones would be dead in the hand. So it wasn't too great to have that, so I decided to take it out so that we could improve the consistency and decrease the amount of dead cards we might have in the hand. The new additions to the spells, we are playing 2 Gold Sarcophagus. This is why we are playing 2 Dotscapers, is because for Gold Sarcophagus, if you activate it, you banish Dotscaper. It immediately special summons itself, and then when that Dotscaper is sent to the graveyard on the same turn, it won't come back because you can only use each effect once per turn. Or rather, you can use one of its 2 effects only once per turn, so that's unfortunate there. That's why we're playing 2, and honestly, Gold Sarcophagus is still not too bad of a card to play just in general, because even if you don't hit Dotscaper, even if all your Dotscapers are gone, Gold Sarcophagus can still be used on Balancer Lord, because if Balancer Lord gets banished, it can special summon any monster from your hand that is level 4 or lower. So I still think it's a decent card, and of course, even so, you can just deck thin with Gold Sarcophagus as well. Alright, so to end things off, we are playing 2 Scapegoats. It's a new addition to the deck. I decided to play it because even though it's better to go first with this card and just set it, it's a great way to instantly just go for a Deco Talker or a Firewall Dragon in your next turn. Basically, you can go for a Link 3 or a Link 4, which is really easy with just the 1 card alone. And it's also an Earth monster, which also gives us the option to go into Mrs. Radiant as well, which is really awesome. We are also playing 1-time passcode. This time we are actually playing 1. I feel like we don't really need to play 2 simply because it's a once per turn card. So I want to minimize the amount of cards that only have once per turn, and I don't want to play too many of those cards. So I'm sticking to just 1 of that. 1 Mind Control because it's a great card. We are also playing 1 Foolish Burial because obviously Foolish Burial on the Dandelion will get you 2 tokens, which is really awesome there. And to finish things off, we have 1 Moon Mirror Shield. Now, the reason why I'm playing Moon Mirror Shield is because we do lack a lot of power, and I felt like with a more aggressive style deck, Moon Mirror Shield can get over anything, really, as long as it's a power-based monster. Moon Mirror Shield is just an amazing card. So that pretty much sums up the whole deck. We are not playing any trap cards like Recoded Alive. So this is, of course, the whole intention of this deck is to be more aggressive. So let's move on to the extra deck. Alright, so not much to explain about the extra deck, but we'll just go on with it and start with 2 Firewall Dragons because still a great card. Obviously, I still recommend you get Topologic or Borolo Dragon. Those cards are really good still to play, so you could take out one of the Firewall Dragons and play one of those cheaper cards because Firewall Dragons is not a necessity and it's also a more expensive card than the other options. So 1 is enough, but I do recommend you still have to have at least 1. 1 Deco Talker, we don't need to play many of them anymore because we're not playing Recoded Alive. We're still playing 1 Trigate Wizard because Trigate Wizard's more of a defensive card. We're playing more aggressive, so I decided to just play 1 Trigate Wizard. Playing 2 Enco Talkers. Now this card is a more aggressive card because it allows you to get over really powerful monsters, and I decided playing 2 is better because it's more useful in this particular style of play than Deco Talker or Trigate Wizard. For Link 2s, we are playing 1 Proxy Dragon. I still think it's a great card to just protect your monsters just in case. Even in an aggressive style, it works. We're playing 2 Honeybots. I do recommend that everyone plays 2 Honeybots in all their Cyberse decks because if you get 2 Honeybots co-linked to each other, then you pretty much have a really, really powerful dynamic duo there. So it's just really awesome. Playing 2 Mrs. Radiant, of course, because we now have a Scapegoat, and it's really easy to go into it. And of course, Link Spiders can also link with each other to go into Mrs. Radiant as well, so not too bad. We also have 2 link bumpers. Link bumpers is just a nice link 2 card that allows us to extend our link play. So we have a link spider at the top. We can go for a link bumper right in the bottom and extend the pointing arrows. So it's not too bad of a card as well, and it will be able to co-link itself with the link spiders. Speaking of link spiders, we're playing 2 link spiders to end things off. So that's pretty much the deck profile. I don't really have to explain much about this. I won't be making a combo video and a tip video simply because this deck will use the similar combos and similar tips to the first Cyberse deck profile. The only difference is that the way this is built, it will be so much more aggressive than the first Cyberse deck profile, whereas the first one focused more on controlling the game and it was more of a passive style. So I will be actually doing a test hand video for this. Because it obviously does a lot more different things, so do stay tuned for that. And of course I will be making the 3rd deck profile as well, so that's something to look forward to. But I hope you guys actually enjoyed this deck profile. I'll see you next time.